Hi traders, this is Sin with the New Level Trading Report for Friday, July 15th. Today's Standard & Poor's put a broad range of financial companies on negative credit watch, warning they could all be downgraded soon if the United States has its credit rating cut. The Dow was up 42 points, the Nasdaq gained 27 points, and the S&P was up 7 points. This is a 15-minute chart of our Dow Jones Index, and as you can see, lots of chop over the last week, and we're actually ending close to the lows here, and we actually made a new low today at 12,406. And so you can see actually we just did a lot of chopping today, but we're still just trending downward, and again, like I said, we have some bottoming tails but still ending on the lows. What I did today is I drew a little fib retracement here, and again, this is just on this pullback here, and you can see we came down, we had these bottoming tails, and we actually retraced up to this 26 or 20 I'm sorry, the 78% area, and now we've pulled back into this 61% area. And what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to take that off, delete my fib retracement here, and now what I want to show you is just kind of what we're looking like. Not a lot of change, and you can see we had those bottoming tails, and I said it looked like we at least wanted to go down, and pretty much we've had an inside day today, and it's a Friday obviously, but we're on above average volume, and you can see I've drawn a little bit of a trend line here, and we'll just wait to see what happens. Obviously we have lots of earnings. Apple's coming up. Apple had a really nice day today, but lots of earnings coming up next week, and we'll talk about those in a bit. Let's look at the S&P futures, and again you can see what I did was I drew this downward trend line, and we're just continuing to chop, and you can see again we had almost an inside day. We had a bit of you can see a tail here that went below yesterday's low, but overall just pretty much inside and lots of chop. So let's take a look at our daily and try to get a better look here. And again, we talked about all these tails, and now what you can see is again a bottoming tail, the topping tail, and then now we have another bottoming tail. So that's just telling me lots of indecision on just above average volume, but again, lots of information and earnings coming in next week. So we'll watch that. Obviously these talks on the debt ceiling, that will make a difference as well. Let's take a look at the dollar, and again still interestingly enough acting as our contrarian and pretty choppy today. You can see ending on just about where it started, and again looking at our daily here, you can see again lots of chop, and just an actual doji today. You can see that here. So again, lots of indecision, but still within these parameters here, and I'm still looking to see at least a chop or congestion that's tightening up and either breaking up or breaking down, and we're on actual below average volume. So let's take a look at FinViz, and this gives you a better overview. You can see the Dow again came down. Pretty much looks like one of those a little W type pattern or a double bottom, but you can see we tried to pull down and couldn't hold that, and then ended up just had a really nice day. So this is what we're looking like. You can see again that really nice push in the early morning hours. Definitely we're looking like a Christmas tree on the heat map. You can see some up stocks and some down stocks, and as I said, the financial sector did not do well today, and Google had the most amazing day today. They really beat earnings on estimates and revenues as well as guidance. So let's take a look at the bubble study, and again, as you can see, Google was the big winner, almost 13% gain, and RRC had a nice day as well, up about 12%. So you can see some really nice gainers in here. SWN, which is Southwestern Energy, up about 8.8%, and as you can see here, here's the zero line. So lots of stocks even up into that 6% gainer area. Let's take a look at the downside. As you can see, FLIR, which is Fluor Systems, was down almost 10% today. But you can see the rest of these, and again, I like to always, here's our zero line, and so not too many stocks to the downside below that 3% area. This is WellPoint down about 2.7%. Citibank as well. They had earnings today. They actually did okay, but ultimately gave up a little bit of that gain, down about 1.6%. So again, overall, a really nice day for trading, especially some of the Nasdaq stocks. let's take a look at what's going on economically. And let's see, yeah, this actually is not going to show next week. I'll have to change a few things to do that, but in fact, let's try to do that here. Let's see, well, let's do our earnings here, at least to see what's going on next week. And you can see here we have Apple is obviously going to be the big one next week. ABT, that's Abbott Labs, that usually is a mover. That's next week as well. Let's see what else we have. AMD, that's a semiconductor company. They've had a lot of news lately, and as you can see, they're down right now, so that should be interesting. It's a small stock, but it moves fairly well. And let's look, as you can see, and this actually is a really great overview of what's going on next week. Just lots and lots of earnings. This is BBT, it's a regional bank. Just going to kind of go through this quickly. You can see you can see here all the earnings that are coming in. But anyway, again, Caterpillar is another big one. So BTU, that's Peabody Energy. So lots of tomorrow or next week should be really a big day for trading stocks. So thanks again for checking in. Have a great evening, and we'll see you tomorrow.